Welcome to the Town of Darien Sewer Commission meeting of Tuesday, April 1st. It is 4:30 p.m. In room 206 at Town Hall. We are calling a public hearing. We're opening a public hearing. And that public hearing is related to proposed amendments to the Darien Code of Ordinance. And for the record, I will read the legal notice that was published in the paper. Do we have the date of publication, Darren?
Not at my fingertips, no.
Hello.
Come on in.
All right, thank you.
So this is the legal notice. Notice of public hearing on proposed amendments to sanitary sewer regulations in accordance with Connecticut General Statutes, Section 7-255. The Town of Darien Sewer Commission will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, April 1, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. in room 206 of Darien Town Hall, located 2 Renshaw Road, Darien, Connecticut 06820, for the purpose of affording the general public an opportunity to be heard concerning proposed amendments to the Darien Code of Ordinance. Appendix C, Article 11, Sanitary Sewer Regulations, Section 1000-3A. Sewer connection fees and supplemental charges. Proposed amendments include the removal of paragraph 3A2. All members of the public are invited to participate and will be given an opportunity to be heard regarding the proposed changes. I should do those medical ads.
No, you're pretty good.
With that, so the specific, do we have that in here?
Yes.
We do, but it's included under the regular meeting,
Yeah,
item number 3, so skip past the meeting minutes.
So very specifically, the action is to remove the following paragraph from sewer connection fees and supplemental charges. Removing paragraph 3A-2. No connection fees shall be required of owners of lots which lots are served by a public sanitary sewer installed by the developer that extended the sewer. Disconnection and reconnection of such lots shall be in accordance with Section 3A-1. So that is the language that will be removed from our Code of Ordinance, and the intention is to require a sewer user connection fee in accordance with our regulations, regardless of whether or not a developer's agreement was put in place. The thinking, as I think we discussed it a month ago, was that the cost of the developer's agreement, should someone owe a fee to a developer, had to do with the cost to extend the sewer, but it is not necessarily a connection to the overall sewer system, and that is what our connection fees are to apply to, and this is to clarify based on certain conversations that staff has had with certain property owners. Did I say that correctly, Darren?
Yes.
Okay.
And I would
with
just
that-
add, if I could, the comments in yellow, those are Ed's comments, and he's recommending the word void instead of actually the whole removal, so that we could, in the future, see what was actually removed.
Okay, so we will strike through and add the word void.
Yeah, if it's possible for us to do that, that's what Ed's intent.
Okay.
I like that.
So really, we're not necessarily, this is not the moment for us to make a decision. This is the moment for us to invite any members of the public that may be here to comment on this revision to comment. Are there any members of the public that wish to comment on this code revision?
Okay.
Did you receive any emails or other forms of
I'm
communication?
not aware of any emails
Okay.
or phone calls.
Okay. With that, if there's any other comment, I'm happy to take it. Otherwise, I will look for a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Okay, public hearing is closed. We will now move on to our regular meeting.
We could vote on it, couldn't we?
We will, I think, when we get to it under the regular meeting somewhere. Yeah, item number 3.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh,
First, we do the minutes.
Yes. We can do whatever we want, but I might as well go in order because someone prepared this very nicely.
Okay.
All right, so approval of Darien Sewer Commission
You're
meeting
gonna call a
minutes.
meeting to order? Did you call a meeting?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, we
okay, yeah,
didn't
so
vote on
I
it.
guess
We're
we
gonna
call
vote
the
on
regular
number
meeting
3.
to order at
4:36.
4:38 p.m. or whatever you want to write down.
436.
Robert's rules is turning over in his grave.
You're supposed to keep me on point, Robert.
Yeah.
All right, the meeting minutes from March 4th.
Thought they were well done.
They look good to me, and I would make a motion to approve as submitted, unless you have a question. Oh.
Second.
All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes as drafted with a second. That was Susan on the motion and Peter on the second. Any further discussion, comments, edits? Hearing none, I'll ask for a vote. All those in favor? Meeting minutes are adopted for March 4th.
One of the first minutes, we've never had to tweak anything. That's well done.
All right, regular meeting, yeah, no, that,
Really
yeah.
good.
Joanne's doing a very good job.
Nailed it.
Nailed
Nailed it. Actually,
That might
that
be-
is, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
I can't think of it. That's what I'm
It's
saying, yeah.
worth acknowledging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
A
you.
perfect
Thank you.
drafting of the minutes.
Ordinary.
Joanne will be very happy to hear
Oh.
that.
Yeah.
No.
Thank you.
I like her minutes.
Yeah, easy to read.
So, item number 3 on the regular meeting agenda is revised sewer connection fees and supplemental charges pursuant to the public hearing previously conducted.
See, I thought that item was Bob's issue with increasing fees.
Well, we talked a little bit about whether or not to throw that in at the last meeting. And whereas I think there is likely consensus on increasing the residential connection fees, there were questions over whether to or how to increase the non-residential or mixed-use connection fees. And so because we did not have concurrence, we didn't put it open to this public hearing, and we imagined we would do it at a subsequent public hearing, maybe the one where we address our rates in
Okay.
September.
Yeah, I'd like to kick that down the road, because I'm not
Right, no, I-
necessarily on board with tweaking that.
Yeah, okay.
I've thought about that a lot.
No, I agree with all of that. I just thought
Yeah.
that didn't address this, so,
Yeah,
sorry.
okay,
No,
always
not at
good to
all.
clarify. If one of us has a
Yes.
question, then certainly it would be
No, this
likely
just
that other people have
means that everybody has to pay the connection fee.
Right, yes. And I think that is an excellent suggestion.
And I think it's a good idea to say void, but I would also think that we should put the date
Oh,
that it
yeah,
was voided.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
like
usually
that.
do
They
that in regs. They usually put the date.
Amended,
Amended or
date.
voided.
Or voided, yeah, I would say voided and then the date.
Voided.
yeah.
So would you, Bob, consider a motion to approve the modifications to the Code of Ordinance to strike through paragraph 382, adding the word void with a date as of this meeting in terms of the,
Yes, I would make that motion.
and the only caveat I would suggest we put on that motion, subject to concurrence by the town attorney, if, that format is appropriate.
Oh, yes,
That's a motion?
Yeah, I
yes.
think that was Bob's
I'll
motion.
second it. Just checking.
Didn't you see my lips moving?
I did. So that's Bob and me, and the only
Thank you.
tweak is adding the date after
Say
void.
voided and for
Okay,
1/25.
so we have Bob on the first,
125.
Reese on the second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Okay, motion
Unanimous.
passes, ordinance is amended. We now, gentlemen, which item are you here for? Or,
Sorry?
which item are you here for?
So I sent in a sketch for 15 Richview Avenue for approval for sewer connection.
Okay.
4B.
Yeah,
4B,
Okay.
okay.
yeah,
So,
we're almost done. You want to do that over?
Yeah. So the chairman's going to take the meeting slightly out of order, and we're going to do 4B, sewer connection approval, 15 Ridgeview Avenue. The owner wants to connect the new detached ADU's sewer line to the existing house lateral. The property cannot be subdivided. And that is, there's Ridgeview. Hello, Ridgeview. And there's the dwelling. Okay, so the ADU will be in the garage in the rear. The new sewer line will be what, gravity or force?
Gravity.
Gravity.
Please come up to the lectern.
Yeah.
Could you
Thank
please
you,
state
sir.
your name for the record too, please?
Sure. Okay, right. My name is Jamie Betancourt.
Thank you, Jamie. And what's your interest in Ridgeview, 15 Ridgeview?
Connecting the sewer line.
Are you the contractor?
I'm the contractor.
plumber, owner? Okay. you're
Yeah, I'm the contractor,
Okay,
yes.
great, thank you, sir. So really, the decision before our commission is whether to allow, effectively two dwelling units, the accessory dwelling unit, the primary dwelling unit, to be connected to one sewer lateral. And then the technical details of that connection would then be managed through pulling a sewer permit with the sewer department.
Correct.
Okay, is that correct? I get that right, Darren?
Yes.
Okay, so.
And of course, connection fee.
Obviously, this is probably gonna be the first amenity we see with the new ADU regulation. I guess we'll start from left and go to right. I'll ask the commissioners if they have any questions on the information submitted, or any questions for Mr.
Jamie.
Jamie.
Okay, so just so I have it right here, the road would be at the top. The actual ridge view is up here?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
Okay. And the thing is, I don't see the existing sewer line.
It's not marked there.
Okay, is there an as-built for it somewhere?
It's in the front of the house. It's in the front of the house, right?
So there is not an as-built plan?
No.
Okay. And do you have any idea of the condition or the age?
No.
Okay.
Seventies, correct? Correct, do you remember Ridgeview? I think it was 76 they put it
Now
in.
you're dating yourself.
No, I asked,
I'm
no,
jumping on
no.
that
Okay,
train.
so.
Somebody asked me
all
to
right.
look at something, there were two
So,
lots.
so with this run, are you gonna be able to do it, gravity? You're
Yes.
not gonna have to have a ejector pump?
No.
Okay. And this is just one bedroom, one bathroom?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I don't have any other questions. I
Yeah.
can make a motion when it's time.
I think I know where you're headed. Mr. Van Winkle.
Let's listen to Bob.
I've got a weird one. Under the ADU structure, can this be condoed ever?
Whew.
Sorry. Knew that blew your mind. And if it were, would there have to be an agreement between the two condo owners
I
for
think-
maintaining the line?
I think it has to be zoned condo, doesn't it?
Nope.
No,
No.
As of right.
But let me get to you.
Okay.
There is a requirement in the zoning regulation that either the front unit or the rear unit be owner occupied. So the owner can live in the principal structure and rent out the ADU, or the owner can live in the
Doesn't have
ADU.
anything to do with condo then. How would that negate a condo?
Because then there would be a different owner.
It'd be a condo. Condo would own it. There'd be different percentage ownerships. Wilder used that down by Rings End
Yes,
Bridge
I was
for
just
two
gonna
houses
say.
that were non-conforming, to make them conforming for coverage.
He's a smart guy.
Yep, so it's been
I
done
knew where you were
before.
going. Wilder project.
That's the one right at the tip of Rings End Bridge.
Rings End Bridge.
And two antique houses.
Well, it seems like that's a question for planning and zoning.
No, but for us, if there's a maintenance, there would have to be a maintenance. Do we need to put a caveat in there that if this is ever condominium, that both the condo would then take ownership of the lateral maintenance, and we don't have to deal with it? Or do we have to worry about it?
I think that's a good thing to be thinking
It's a
about for all these
complicated question,
ADUs.
Craig.
Yeah.
Can I say something?
Please.
I mean, I think it's a good question, but also it's such a small area. It's only I know. It's only a 22 by 30.
Oh, I understand.
It's very small.
I- It's not, it really has nothing to do with you. We'd approve
bigger
this
pic- also bigger
anyway.
picture.
This is more of a philosophical question, what might happen later, the unintended consequence of adding these
Got it.
regulations. We both served on zoning, we've served on wetlands together. We've seen things that you write it on paper and you never know. When you at least unleash that beast in the
That's
world,
true.
what could happen?
That's
And I'm a
true. I
big
can just
fan of
imagine.
like imagining the asteroid hitting us and buying some insurance, and thinking about what could happen. And we've had some weird things where there's been
Oh, I bet.
strange connections, and how do we sort it out later, and sewer lines over other people's property, because of go along, get along was
Wow.
way back
So I guess
when.
the question is, do you feel,
If the ADU has something in it that says they cannot be, but they can't, see what I'm going at? They can't legally do that.
conduit, you're saying?
Yeah.
That's an excellent question.
I mean,
Well, I guess
I'm
my question,
comfortable. We
my
can-
my
we can
question
move
is,
along with
yeah,
this.
do we apply that tonight, or do
No,
we?
no, I don't wanna hold
okay.
you up or anything.
And
I'm just,
No.
I'm
but maybe we
We
do a
should
little more
be-
research to see.
I'm asking a much higher level question that needs to be asked
Yeah, I
tonight,
know.
but we're gonna see these more and more,
We
because
have three of them
they're
tonight.
creative, yeah, creative use of.
But anyway, I think the intent, whether you can read between the lines on the intent, right, in terms of the letter, but the intent is that the owner of the property is living on the property.
Right.
That's the intent, and the owner of the property would be responsible for the maintenance of the property.
Yeah.
That's the intent.
Right.
But you're right, then we have very smart attorneys.
But we
Susan,
don't want
you
to
have a
have to
question?
engage the attorneys if we don't have to.
We could ask them that later.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
ask them that later. No,
Okay.
I
Any questions?
don't have any questions.
Okay, so,
But I like-
do you have anything else to add for the record?
No.
Okay, so, Bob, I imagine you were coming up with a condition, or a motion conditioned upon video inspection and as-built.
Exactly. I make a motion to approve the connection to the existing lateral once the existing lateral is cambered and deemed in proper condition, and then that the existing lateral and the new lateral both are included on an as-built sketch, which is submitted to the sewer department.
I think that's an awesome.
I'll second that.
motion.
Well done. Okay.
Well done.
So we have a motion by Bob, a second by Susan. Any further discussion on the motion? All those in favor? Okay, connection is approved.
Thank you
sir.
very much.
You're
I
all
knew
set.
today would be my
So,
day, April Fool's.
You gotta go through, Darren's office, Department of Public Works, Sewer Department, to pull a sewer permit to
Okay.
be able to do this stuff.
I could just do that online, or do I have to?
Oh, they're fun
No,
to come visit.
You're gonna need to pay, you're gonna need to give us a bond, you're gonna need this insurance, you can do most of it, give us the insurance certificate, give us a bond.
You may have a map too. This sewer, I think, was done in the '70s, so they might want to come in and review your maps as to where everything is, you know, to get an idea when you're
Yeah,
out there.
lateral card.
For the
And we can
cammering.
provide you
of
with
the line.
mapping if you're interested.
Yes, yeah, that would be
We might
great.
have something,
I mean, we know where it is, but.
But also pursuant to the motion just made, in order to pull that sewer permit, you're gonna need to have the line videoed.
Got it.
And they need to make an assessment that the lateral's in good condition.
Okay.
yep, and a connection fee,
Yep.
Sure.
$750, right?
Yep.
$750 for bedroom or ADU.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right.
That plus a $200 fee. Plumber comes to us and we'll handle it with the plumber.
All right.
I'm assuming you're not the plumber. He's the plumber.
That's pretty cool.
Bring your license. We need to see your license. Thank you.
Quiet guy in the back.
If everything goes well, you'll never see us again.
If everything goes well, he's gonna have 10 more projects.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Well, regarding that project, I'm sure I'll see you guys
All right.
at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
in the
sir.
future.
Well, thank you for coming in too. We
Thank
really
you
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Very
guys
kind.
very much for everything. So when should we come in with,
Next week would be good
next week?
because our sewer inspector's on vacation until
Okay.
Tuesday.
All
He'll be
right,
back on Tuesday.
so we can come in on Tuesday.
You can start giving me stuff, yeah, if you want. You could email it to us,
All right,
okay?
Get the
So-
scoping done.
you will need, his license. Do you need my license as a contractor as well? No?
Nope, he has to show up with his license, sign in person, give us a $3,000 sewer bond. We'll give you whatever lateral, you pay the $750 connection fee, pay the $200 sewer permit fee,
Okay.
and give us a sketch of what you propose, a little bit better than this.
Right, that
Yeah.
was,
Yeah, no, it's okay, it doesn't have to be straight edge, just tell us where you're going, tell us what you're doing,
Okay.
First, you need to camera the line, make sure it's in
and camera the line.
reasonable condition to be able
Yeah.
to, if it isn't any good, you gotta replace that too, so then it's a different scope.
Permit, yep.
Yep,
Right.
and Ridgeview's a private road, so you won't need a street opening permit even if you went in the road, so,
Okay.
okay?
All right, now, another question is, would it be any different whether we went inside the house and tap into the existing
Nope.
inside the house, or no, can't do that? I'm just asking, because, you know.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be different.
I'm asking because I want to make sure we're doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
All
are.
right.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. So the video, he has to take care of that.
Yeah, and if he can't, there's plenty of people around who
All
can
right.
do it for you.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, we have other business to get to. They're
you.
available
Thank you
all day,
very
every
much.
day.
Thank you very much.
for
Call us
questions.
anytime.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Item 4A, 62 St. Nicholas, owner wants to connect the new pool house sewer line to the existing house lateral. Property cannot be subdivided.
Okay, again, I would want to know the condition of the existing sewer, the age of the existing sewer, where the pool gets backwashed or gets lowered when the water level goes up. And if there's an as-built of the existing sewer.
Okay, so if you were going to make a motion, the condition upon video of the condition of the existing lateral, provide an as-built for the property indicating both the position of the existing lateral and the new connection
Yes.
and extension.
Pool discharge.
And an explanation on whether or not there are pool discharges connected to the sewer and what those are.
Yes.
Okay?
There'll be a Cultec system for the pool though, right? Most
I think
likely.
there is, I'm looking at it right now, I think
Yeah.
there
Oh,
is. but
is
we'll
there?
find out.
It probably, because the pool deck
tell.
usually drives that bus.
That might just be a little trench drain on the patio.
I mean, a
Okay.
Cultec, you could,
I think it's a good question to ask and have in the file, so I'm not gonna quarrel right about it.
no, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't see a new Keltec,
Any other questions or comments?
just the old one.
Yeah, you don't know the age of the pool. I mean, I know things have changed since I left the pool business, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
back then it was just making a concrete block drywall.
I think this over here
Up
is
top,
an
yep,
extension
yep,
on the
yep.
infiltration
Add another
system.
field or whatever.
Yeah, they're extending it.
Makes sense. Got good soils there, probably.
Any other questions or comments? All right, Bob has the motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Reese seconds the motion. Darren, did you get all the adds
do.
to that motion?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay. Approved, 5-0. 209 West Ave, the owner wants to connect the new detached ADU sewer line to the existing house lateral. Looks like on this exhibit, they're trying to connect into the.
Inside?
Yeah, go through the
Is it?
existing building
Oh.
in the front. So we would prefer that not happen, I think.
Yeah, I would think you'd want it to come all the way down and
Yeah.
then connect in the front of
It's
the,
just
front of the
easier,
house.
because like then someone wants to take one down and rebuild it, just
Yeah.
like, let's not even do that.
Redundancy.
Unless there were a reason that it was not practical, I would consider, but it doesn't look like that test applies to this site.
So you'd like to see it one all the way to the front?
I would.
Combined in the front yard?
I would.
Does he need to come in and give you a new drawing, or are you just going
I'm
to
happy
say?
conditioning the
Yeah.
motion.
That this drawing is not correct and that
Looks
they
like-
have to
looks
change
like
it?
it goes to here anyway.
Yeah, exactly, it's
So
just
it's
going around
somewhere
the
out
corner and
here.
getting there, yeah. Exactly.
Does that make sense, Darren?
Oh,
Yeah, you want to go to the front of the house,
Hold on a
right?
second, no, I'm
What?
reading the labels. New gravity waste line from ADU to existing building, pump to existing line in basement. So he's putting a pump inside, either maybe there's a pump in the
Description
basement?
to this besides this? And
Yeah,
I saw
this,
that.
is there an existing one? I wouldn't pipe to a pump if I didn't have to. Inside.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
could fail. Right.
Or why wouldn't you just put a
Pump in the garage.
in the ADU and pump all the way to the
How-
lateral connection? Keep
Is
pump
is
separate.
this, is the front building, which one? All right, so 211 Post Road, which one, is that the one that used to be the variety store 40 years ago?
No, this is where
This is
the,
West Ave.
West Ave, where
Yeah, I
the
know.
veterans used to be.
Yeah, that used to be a variety store in the
Did it
front.
really? Well, you go back further, I don't
Boy,
remember
you
that.
go way back.
Wow.
Well, okay.
Parking all those
Yeah, it used to be a
parking
little
spaces.
store in the front of that.
Well, given
Right.
that there's 7 spaces, I'm not surprised it was a store. 7 parking spaces.
I mean, I couldn't remember what kind of store was in there, but it was something.
Do you wanna just ask them to rework
This
it?
wasn't
Yeah.
the decorator.
Well,
Frank, the decorator.
Wilcox.
Do you have something to add,
Well,
Derek?
yes.
But before that, there was something else.
Oh, my God.
only that if you want him to connect to the front, then the garage is going to need its own separate pump, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if it needs it, if you do
Okay.
all gravity, gravity's fine.
I mean, there's plenty of instances where there's an exterior pump and you have gravity lines from two different structures going to that single pump. That's been done.
Yeah.
In this case, the pump is in the interior of the existing house.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, you tell us, we're coming from the standpoint that it just doesn't seem
Logical.
like a best practice to take sewage from one dwelling through another dwelling, right? And that we would prefer to keep the laterals separate until they joined before they went out into the.
It's more common to see pumps in parallel rather than in
Yes.
series. That's true.
So what we're balking at is the going through the basement of the house with this new connection. And that's reasonable to you.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
There's no grade.
out front, if there's a pump, that means out front there's a pump, right? The pump line leaves the building
Yeah,
because there's a pump in the basement. That's the only way it's getting out is through the pump.
yeah.
So what we would do is require in the front a manhole junction chamber, which is similar to one that the commission just looked at on Long Neck Point, where you have a pool house and a main house, and they meet in a manhole, and it functions basically as a valve chamber,
Distribution
where
valve.
there's a check valve and a shutoff for each connection going into one pressure line out to the road.
Yes.
And that sounds like the configuration that you folks are aiming at.
Yes, but I'm wondering if this is a real pump all the way out, or if this is just like a lift pump.
Right, like in a basement with a bathroom in a basement.
Yeah, and there's a gravity lateral in the
And
front
you
that's
get-
and this is
So this is
listen-
just.
That's possible.
Because I mean, this is an old building. I mean, it's at least as old as I am, which is ancient. So.
Mr. Epley could come in and explain it.
it-
Oh,
Yeah. Or you could communicate to Mr. Everly that we're not ready to vote on his request until we have more information. And we have a strong preference, if not almost requirement, that the lateral for the ADU not
Enter the-
enter into the principal structure, right? That all of this is kind of kept separate outside. And so he's got to figure out what kind of existing lateral connection he has.
He's watching you on TV right
Okay.
now and will agree to whatever you say.
Okay, so
So
if they come back, if he can
He would-
redraw it and come back in with an explanation,
he doesn't want to come back in May. I'm just letting you know what he said.
So why don't we
So
allow you
if
to?
you tell him what to do, he'll do it.
Darren, why don't we
Yes.
direct you to approve something that
Well-
doesn't enter the building?
The junction box.
Junction
It
box.
can't go into the building, you don't like that.
Right,
Okay.
One building to another, you don't like that.
yep.
And we would want the condition of the existing.
Camera.
Same conditions
The
apply.
video.
if we
yes, Bill.
approve it subject to scoping the condition of the existing lateral connection,
And that the.
keeping the
Separate.
laterals separate, not going through the principal structure with the ADU lateral,
Yes,
and making sure everything existing and proposed is indicated clearly on an as-built.
yes.
That's a great motion, Bob.
Yep.
Yes,
So-
it is.
So if I could just, you guys are into the technical stuff here, so if I could just rephrase it from my perspective, in the front, if that's a gravity sewer, if it's actually a pump that goes to a gravity sewer, bring the pump line from the ADU around into the gravity line. If it's a
Or
pump
gravity,
line.
gravity, depending on the condition.
Right, if it's gravity, and we'll check it all out and everything, but if it's a pump line in the front yard going out to the road, a valve chamber, usual rules apply, check valve plus a shut off for each separate line so you can isolate them, and somebody can use the ADU or the house, and if one of them has a problem, it doesn't affect the other.
So it could be gravity to gravity, check. It could be
Pressure to
force
gravity.
to gravity, check. It could be force to force. In that condition, we need to have an accessible junction box,
But not through the building,
but not through the.
and we'll check out the pipe.
Yes.
And an as-built.
Check out pipe, as-built.
All right, we got a motion on the floor. I have a second on the motion.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion or comment? All those in favor? Okay, connection approved.
So basically, we were consistent all the way through.
We were.
Yes.
So that's a.
Consistent
We tried.
is always good.
And
I think we've got like an A- on consistency.
If they ever get,
I'm not, no, I'm just voicing my,
Yes, yes.
it'll make it easier in condo, too.
And when they get questions in the future and sketches in the
This one I
future,
could see.
they'll know what to say.
and if someone comes in asking, you know, just for advice to begin with, this is what they know that has been past precedent.
Amen. Item number 5 on the agenda. sump
5:01.
pump. You ready to go?
5:01 PM. Yep.
Okay. Item number 5 on the agenda, sump pump removal policy. We keep tweaking this thing. Do you have an update for us? I thought, my memory is failing. Where did we leave this?
They
Oh,
were gonna
regs.
draft regs, but with this in front of me here, I actually have a couple comments that I would like people's, comments on my comments. The first thing, it says sewer commission, that should say sewer department. Sewer compliance statement, because we wanna make this
Sure.
as, you know, as easy and straightforward as possible, so that, I mean, as it is, the department's gonna be overwhelmed. So,
So page 5A, 1 of 2, highlighted section.
the yellow part, yes.
Sewer department, not sewer commission.
the other thing was, I was wondering if it should say something about, it says here, form must be returned. Should it say completed form? Because what I'm afraid is people are gonna do they're gonna get to the part here, check, no sump pump, and then just send it back without going down and printing their name and signing their name at the bottom, and saying that they did the investigation.
So complete form and return to.
Yeah, I mean, am I
You
being
should
too simple?
probably say complete and sign, just to make sure.
Well, you want it to happen once is my whole,
Yes.
and I'm not trying to be anal, but I think we need to be to just try and,
Complete, comma, sign,
Where are we, on the form?
comma.
Yeah,
in
right
the
up
yellow,
there.
in the yellow
In the
part.
yellow,
On the form.
on the
Same
form.
spot where the department was. Right, the section that currently
form.
says,
Form must be completed,
returned.
signed, and returned.
so what I'm going to say is what should be written there. Complete, comma, sign, comma, I'm a big Oxford comma guy, and return to sewer department.
Okay, I'm gonna change yours to say,
Oh.
form must be completed, signed, and returned to sewer department.
Form
Must be
Form.
completed,
must be
completed,
completed,
signed, and returned. You can put any commas in you want.
to sewer department.
I'm gonna have to say it back to make sure I miss it. Form must be completed and signed.
Form must be completed,
Comma.
comma, signed, comma, and returned to
Yeah,
sewer
yeah.
department.
I don't think there's a comma after sign, because the and
You
takes it
can,
over.
you can debate
Well,
that with people.
How about an
I
and sign?
don't know.
I don't know, I had public
Do you
education, I
want a
don't
peanut
think.
butter and jelly sandwich?
Well, there would be no comma
Or do you
there.
want a peanut butter sandwich and a jelly
Peanut
sandwich?
butter comma, jelly.
I don't think it matters.
Well, I would like a peanut butter open-faced sandwich and a jelly open-faced sandwich, and I'll put them together.
I want mine
That sounds
toasted.
like you, Bob.
I would like toast. Okay,
Okay, any other comments on the form?
no, that's a good
Thank
one.
you.
No, I just saw that and I thought,
Thank you for all the work, Bob, you did in starting to told
Okay.
us, get this together.
Thank you to
And
staff
staff.
for all the work they've done.
Yeah, it's simple, and it looks good.
It's
All the comments in yellow are Ed's, for the record.
perfect.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Is he getting a tan? Where is he?
He's in Florida, he's
Yeah,
watching
he's
you right
getting
now.
Well
tan.
done. I
He
hope
said
he's
you're
not
welcome, I heard.
Watching, but we miss you, if you're watching.
sump pump compliance, wait a
We
minute,
need to cut some trees.
okay.
Okay. Where are we?
Oh, the humor of Mayberry.
I'm reading the regulations again,
Oh,
is where I am, to see if I have any comments.
I didn't understand all those question marks. Are we looking for something else in the second whereas?
I'm still, wait a minute, where are we? I'm still on the back page of the statement
Oh.
here, I'm confused at the highlighted ones. Sump pump to be reissued every year to non-compliant properties.
Meaning if you don't, return the form.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking it needs to be done more than every year.
$250 should not return.
I mean, that's, at the beginning, we're giving them, we're doing it in 6 months. And after 90 days, we're saying that the first 90 days was a grace period.
Yeah,
We
we're gonna
could-
give
we-
them another 90
So,
days.
We could
and then
change
the
this.
second 90 days, but see, then after that, I think the thing should go out
Look at the
every
next
90
sentence.
days.
Property owners have 6 months after the return of the sump pump compliance statement to rectify, oh, that's his rectification. 'cause that
Yeah,
was-
I'm good with that. It's more the sending it out once a year.
But it's every 90 days to the people who have not complied?
But here it's saying every year to the people who
Yeah,
have not
it's
complied.
saying that. It's saying $250 a year if you're not
But
compliant.
once.
No, it
once
just
you
says a
get-
$250 fine. It doesn't say per year.
But if we can only send the statement out once a year and they don't return it once a year and then it's.
We
only
could change that,
$250.
Bob. It's not gonna be perfect.
Oh, and
But-
fine.
Well, I
Well,
hear-
no, I think it's important to address this now.
Have
How
we-
often are we going to ask them
Peter,
for
do you
the
have something?
statement?
Have we covered the guy who has complied and then puts in the sump pump?
well,
It's fraud,
Yeah,
yeah.
No,
What's
not
gonna
really.
happen?
well, lots of things will happen, and
Well-
nothing is gonna be perfect,
I mean,
except us.
should we, should this thing go out every 5 years?
I really wanna get it out once.
Yeah, I do
And
too.
start the process,
See.
and then make it better as we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
Sump pump compliance statement, may be reissued, may be reissued.
I mean, we could send this out every year.
Periodically.
All right, so they don't return it within 90 days.
How about if we
they have
say
a
sump pump
$250 fine.
compliant system shall be reissued at regular intervals?
Sure.
Good.
Does that leave it
10 years.
vague enough for us to be able to tweak it later?
Sure.
At intervals set by the commission.
Regular intervals.
Set by the commission.
Could be
Is that like a
intervals.
footnote?
We're
No,
working
we're changing one of the lines that Ed has
under.
highlighted in
so
the back.
Oh,
back
up where it
page,
says issued every year? That one?
Yes.
Got you.
We're
Thank
trying
you.
to come up with language,
Or as appropriate.
oh,
So vague.
could have been periodically, because that was at regular intervals also, but,
No, I like where you're going. I just don't like vague.
I know,
so,
just trying to get it done.
maybe reissued
And it should be may be reissued.
At the-
every 6 months.
Okay, I can
All
live
right.
with that.
And
6
then if we
months
don't
is
do
fine.
it, we had a may in there.
Yeah.
I can
May be
live with-
reissued every
I
6
can
months.
live with that.
To non-compliant. I like-
Maybe reissued every 6 months.
So strike at regular intervals and add every 6 months.
May be
Yeah,
reissued.
really, going back to the initial language,
Yeah,
right, we're just gonna get rid of year and add 6 months.
and add in the maybe, because that's
Yeah,
is a good one.
and instead of 2, it's gonna be may.
May be
Be
reissued
reissued.
every 6 months to
Hope
non-compliant.
there's not that many people. It gets fewer and fewer.
It would
I
be-
think most
But I
people
like
try
the
to do the
language
right
because
thing.
it
But I'm a
encompasses-
naive,
The
Trusting.
thing that caught me is the appeal process.
Person.
The 10 days, does that seem too short?
Where are we?
It's section 1013-10.
You've
appeal
moved into the
process.
he's moved into the
The
regulation.
regulations.
okay, what page of regulations are you on?
Hold on,
13,
404.
Page
Dash
404.
the appeal process.
That just struck me as 10 days.
25.
Somebody's in Florida or they're not.
Give the appeal the next registration, commission. The commission receives timely appeal by less than 7 days before.
What do you have a problem with in here?
Yeah, it's
Where's
a
the-
very
where's the-
tight time, doesn't it?
7
days?
Where's the 10 days?
No,
But they're
no
submitting
later
the
than
appeal.
10 days
Oh, all
after
right.
the
I-
date
they
of
didn't put-
assessment of the fine.
They didn't put that part in the 10 in parentheses, so I missed
There
it.
is, oh. Yeah, I do think that's quick.
That's awfully quick. If that's, people might
What
not
would you
even,
propose?
30 days? I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah, and
I mean, the reality is, I'd love to hear an appeal if somebody really didn't get it, and they come in here and say, listen,
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't give them the.
We don't
form,"
want to box that on a technicality.
And we'll waive them. The reality, we just want people to comply. We don't
Yes.
really want to hand out parking tickets and
Okay.
deal with
No,
them.
I'd be happy
So
to.
the last page of the regulation, Darren.
Last page,
I
404.
got it now.
Yes, section
Sorry.
1013-10,
Got it.
third line down. We're changing 10 days to 30 days.
It's written, it's not actually bracketed. It could be 30.
It should be
30,
30,
bracket 30.
paren
Bracket,
30,
yeah.
30 bracket 30?
just like the other one, 30 written out and then paren 30
Wait a minute,
days,
13.5.
just like the 7 days is done,
Yeah.
standard.
I'm just thinking that's more fair, a little more time.
Okay.
And really, reality, I know we have these hard and fast rules, but if they come in 2 months later and say $250 and they want a hearing, well, I would hear them as a commissioner. And if they're trying to comply or they forgot the form or, the dog ate my homework, it's cool. The reality is we just want compliance.
So I assume this draft, and I don't know if you know the answer to this question, Darren, this was internally drafted, has not yet gone to our town attorney.
Yeah, I can say that pretty
Yeah.
affirmatively.
Because they may have a problem with
Lot of-
fines C and D or some of the language, et cetera, but we're trying to get it to a point where we're generally comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And then give Ed the ability to talk to the
Yeah,
attorney about it.
we have spoken to town council.
Yes.
Specifically about fining and all that business. We've had some pretty good meetings.
Okay.
But the yellow is Ed's writing.
Got
That's
it.
internal.
The only other one would be 5B 204. It should say a homeowner may be accepted as a qualified individual. Third paragraph from the bottom. It shouldn't be a homeowner.
5B, what?
Page 5B,
5B,
204.
Oh, 5B 204, thank you.
It should read a homeowner may be accepted as a qualified, not homeowners.
Qualified individual
Qualified individual.
means, da-da-da-da-da-da, last sentence, a homeowner,
Okay, take away the S.
take away the S, may be accepted as a qualified.
And I appreciate that, thanks.
Well, and I'm going back to my question, which is the second whereas. What are those question marks?
Strike 'em.
I mean, what was he asking?
Do we know what
Where are we?
Ed was thinking
The second
when he
whereas.
put the
Five-
question marks in?
5B 1 of 4.
1 of 4. The second, they obviously took this from the FOG regulation, and so they took out the part about the food service establishments.
Yeah.
But then he sees, then we have question. Is
Well-
that for us to answer?
I'm gonna guess yes.
Does anyone have
Yeah.
anything to add besides that we're responsible for ensuring compliance with the building codes?
I don't know.
Plumbing code?
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
So
We're-
first page of the ordinance, 1 of 4.
Oh,
Top
okay.
of the page, second whereas clause.
All right,
5
go
question
backwards.
marks.
Oh, well, now I see him.
Well, anyway, we can't answer a question we don't know what the question is. We could put a lot of questions in there.
5's a lot of.
I
I
put
think-
5 questions.
I'm
in there.
guessing what he's asking is there anything else we want to add
Yes.
in to the whereases
That's right.
that would be similar to
Yeah.
the general permit issue, but that,
Well, it could be,
That one.
is this the only code we want to reference? Are there other
Right,
codes to
that's what I
reference?
think
There's
he's
TR
asking.
16. I don't know if that says anything. I
No.
could look.
Do we want to reference the International Plumbing Code, or is there another code that you want to reference?
Yeah, well, where does our own code of ordinance say that you can't do this pursuant to during like, do we have a?
Paragraph this.
I mean,
Yeah,
no-
paragraph
No
641.
person shall.
No sump pumps may be connected to
Okay.
the sanitary
Leader
sewer,
drains, et
something
cetera.
written in the code of
Okay,
stuff.
That's it.
and that may be it, that we are responsible for ensuring compliance with the plumbing code.
yeah, I think my guess is that, again, the town attorney is likely to have some language edits here
Okay.
that say something like,
We could strike that whole
you know,
paragraph.
in order to
Doesn't matter.
protect the
It's true, that whole paragraph really
existing
is
sewer system.
not needed.
I don't mind reiterating it,
Okay,
I don't either, but.
but then you have to change things in 2 places.
right, that's
Well,
why.
let's
I
just
didn't
operate
understand
with
the
what's in
question.
front of us.
Yeah.
And what's in front of us do we like, do we want to add to, do we want to subtract from?
And again, a year from now, if this, anything doesn't work perfectly, we can amend it,
Yeah.
get further down the road. It's a lot to take on. You guys are gonna have a lot of work, Darren. There's gonna be a lot of phone calls. Appreciate it.
We'll see. A lot of people throw out the junk mail.
Someone's gonna have to collect the checks.
Oh, I'm hoping we can pay them on.
Roof leader connection.
Any other comments on this before Ed continues to work on it? And if you do have individual comments, feel free to send in an email. Are we ready to move on to item number 6? Darren?
Oh, that's me. 5:17 PM. Okay, I think we reported already Phase 1 Old Kings Highway South warranty inspection has been completed. There were no issues identified. Our engineer, Arcadis, has a draft pay request from the contractor. It's under review right now. Phase 2 rehab update. The work is completed. Contractor's working on a final pay request. The warranty inspection won't be done, the warranty inspection work won't be done until spring or autumn of 2026, when the groundwater's high.
Cool.
Phase 3 rehab,
do you
Arcadis is finalizing the design and working on the specifications and the drawings. The goal is to bid this out in May and award in June.
Fantastic.
Moving along.
Fantastic
Thank you.
news.
Moving right along.
Reese, do you have a question on Phase 2?
Darren, do you withhold any funds until the warranty inspections are done? from the
Any
contractor?
withholding?
Is there any retainage for like the Phase 2?
I don't know specifically, but I could tell you
The other one?
5% is standard.
Okay.
We usually, I don't know of a contract where we don't hold 5%.
All right,
And I can
C?
check on that if you like.
Mid-May, that's fantastic.
That's the target, and that's straight from our engineer. I don't think they'd say it if they couldn't achieve it.
They've done a nice job, haven't they?
I'm sorry.
The engineers, Arcadis has been a good
Yes,
pick. They really helped.
very good, very responsive, very timely. They stay with our problems.
What are we in our 4th or 5th year relationship wise? Has it gone that far? Or is it,
Yeah, I bet,
feels that way?
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's nice.
I think it was
goes
my
by
first
so
meeting
fast.
where we chose
Yeah.
Arcadis.
What
I'd have to
year?
go, I don't know. I'd have to go back. It was a while ago. I've been renewed.
Anyway, we appreciate that
Feels-
they've been a great choice and
Okay.
it's worked out.
Sewer point repairs?
Sewer point repairs, I think we reported to you last week, we went out, got some prices, we're waiting for the plants to open, the plants are open, asphalt plants, that is. And our contractor's working on getting a state permit to do the work in the post road. As soon as he has that, we're gonna cut them loose, we have POs ready to go.
And these were sections that were too separated or misaligned to accommodate a lining.
Correct,
So we're gonna fix it first.
correct. We have to fix that first before we can line it. And the one on the post road is a little bit of a wild card. What we typically do when we write the bid is a nominal 10 feet. We assume that'll cover it. That's what we did on Stony Brook and a couple other places it worked. In this particular case, we weren't able to get to where the problem was from both ends. So if it's more than 10 feet, we'll deal with it. That's on the post road. The Sunset Road one, we're pretty sure we've isolated that.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions for the superintendent before we move on? Item 7, new business. Any new business? Item 8,
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
all those in favor? Thank you, Channel 79.